Well, after an eventful weekend, we are ready to jump into the semifinals of the North American LCS. But first, I want to congratulate Clutch Gaming on pulling out a win against TSM and stopping them from getting to the finals for the first time in NALCS history. Not only are we guaranteed to have a new winner on the board, but we're also guaranteed to have a new banner up in those rafters. Now, I didn't think the Clutch would be able to pull it out, but they lived up to their name and got that win against TSM. But now, let's take a bite out of what's going to happen this weekend in the semifinals. First up is Echo Fox versus Liquid. Now, in their quarterfinals against Cloud9, Liquid showed that they know how to mitigate being behind, and that they have solid macro in the mid and late game. Echo Fox, on the other hand, have an aggressive early game through the jungle and top lane, and a solid teamfighting presence. They currently hold a 2-0 game record over Liquid, with their games being in weeks 4 and 6 in the regular split. Now, Liquid's going to want to continue using the tactics they used against Cloud9 in the quarterfinals, give Impact a strong matchup in the top lane, and rely on Double Lift to output consistent damage in their teamfights. Their gameplay against Cloud9 wasn't really all that flashy this past weekend, but their ability to play from behind showed through, especially when Cloud9 had gotten the gold lead in the first 2 games, but failed to snowball that lead and close them out. Now, I believe Echo Fox is going to have the same issues in this upcoming series. Their early game aggression usually gets them a lead. However, they are notoriously bad on their macro in the mid and late game. They rely on winning team fights in order to close out their games, and thus have a hard time closing them out quickly when a team doesn't give them the fights they want to take. However, when they do get into those team fights, they are immaculate at layering their CC and coordinating their targets. Against Liquid, Echo Fox is going to want to continue putting pressure on Double Lift and Olay in the bot lane. Huni will be able to hold his own against Impact, and if Dardot gives him 1 or 2 ganks, they'll be able to utilize that strength for him to carry. By putting pressure on Double Lift, they'll be able to pick him out in the team fights and stop him from carrying. Now on the other side of the rift, Liquid's going to want to give Double Lift and Olay the tools to pressure Altec and Adrian in the bot lane. Echo Fox's bot lane had some pretty clear issues in the last few weeks of the regular season, and if Liquid can exploit that, they'll be able to shut down the strength of Echo Fox's team fighting. This is going to be a really close match, but I think that Liquid's going to be able to play to their win conditions a little bit better than Echo Fox will. And that's why I think Liquid's going to be able to take the series 3-2. Now last week, Clutch really lived up to their name and pulled out a phenomenal win against TSM in the quarterfinals. But they're up for another hard series this week against 100 Thieves. Now against TSM, they utilized the strengths that I laid out for them last week, allowing Hakuho to be a playmaker and looking for fights in the mid and late game. They're going to want to continue playing to those strengths in this next series. Now, 100 Thieves have looked really solid lately. Halfway through the split, they were in 5th place, and since then, they've had a 9-1 record to take first in the regular season. They managed to accomplish this by letting Someday pull his weight in the top lane and allocating resources for Cody Sun to carry. Meteos and Aframu are 2 great playmakers and shot callers, which allows them to move around the map incredibly well in the mid and late game. Now, the real key for 100 Thieves is to deny Clutch from being able to get the picks they need to have a strong teamfighting composition. Now, Febiven's Swain pick really ended up being a nightmare for TSM, and 100 Thieves will want to deny him from getting it by either banning it out or picking it themselves for Ryu or Someday, since Swain has such a strong teamfighting presence with his rework. They'll also want to force Hakuho off of engaged supports and onto disengaged supports. This will hinder him from being able to make the flashy plays that his team needs, and statistically, he does worse. Ban out his Thresh. He's gone 6-1 on it this split, and it allows him to make strong plays that his team needs for their fights. Other than those picks, 100 Thieves will want to use their stronger macro game to their advantage and look to keep Clutch from getting the fights they want to take. 100 Thieves has a clear path to victory, and that's why I think they're going to be able to take the series 3-1. But the last time I predicted that against Clutch, they reversed it on me, so don't be too surprised if they do the same thing this weekend. So there's a quick little taste of what's going to happen this weekend in the semifinals. And I'm still looking to improve, so let me know how I can. Thanks for watching. Also, I'm pretty bad at social media, but I'm trying to get better, so here are my Twitter and Instagram handles.